As you settle into the darkness, the silence of the night wraps around you, a soothing shroud that calms the mind and quiets the heart. I always come back to this one, the ancient Egyptian tombs, where the whispers of the past linger etched into the stone walls, a testament to a long-forgotten world. The air is thick, with the scent of aged dust and forgotten memories, the remnants of a civilization that once thrived along the Nile's life-giving waters. You would have heard the soft lapping of the river against the shore, a gentle melody that accompanied the priests as they performed their daily rituals, the sound carrying on the breeze like a whispered secret. In the stillness of the night, the tombs stand as sentinels, guarding the secrets of the dead, their walls adorned with intricate hieroglyphs that tell the story of a people who lived and died, who loved and lost, in a world both familiar and yet utterly alien. The warnings carved into these tombs are a reminder of the transience of life, a somber message that echoes through the centuries, a whispered warning to those who would disturb the rest of the departed. As the darkness deepens, the shadows cast by the flickering torches dance upon the walls, like restless spirits, their whispers weaving a spell of mystery and awe. The Egyptians believed that the afterlife was a journey, a perilous path that wound its way through the underworld, guided by the stars and the gods, where the soul would be judged and its worthiness determined. The tombs, with their elaborate paintings and carvings, were a testament to this belief, a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead, a threshold that once crossed could never be recrossed. The warnings, etched into the stone, were a final plea, a last testament from the dead to the living, a reminder to respect the boundaries between the worlds, to honor the dead, and to preserve the balance of the universe. In the silence, the warnings seem to take on a life of their own, a soft, mournful sigh that rustles the leaves of the papyrus, a whispered plea that echoes through the chambers, a reminder of the eternal, unchanging nature of death and the transience of human life. As the night wears on, the shadows deepen, and the darkness becomes almost palpable. The warnings carved into the tombs seem to grow louder, a somber reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of the living, a reminder to respect the secrets of the dead and to honor the silence of the night. Beyond the painted facades, the walls of Egyptian tombs whisper secrets to those who wander through their dimly lit chambers, the soft glow of torches casting an eerie dance of shadows on the stone floor. You would have heard the gentle rustle of papyrus, the faint scent of myrrh and frankincense wafting through the air, as the priests of old performed their sacred rituals, ensuring the safe passage of the deceased into the afterlife. The vibrant paintings that adorn the walls, depicting scenes of everyday life, of pharaohs and gods, of feasts and hunts, seem to pulse with a life of their own, yet they belie the ominous warnings that lurk just beneath the surface. As we make our way deeper into the tomb, the colors and sounds begin to fade, and the air grows thick with an almost palpable sense of foreboding, the weight of centuries of tradition and superstition bearing down upon us. I always come back to this one, the tomb of Pharaoh Yunus, where the walls are inscribed with the ominous warnings of the Book of the Dead, a labyrinthine journey through the underworld, guided by the dark magic of the ancient priests. The words, etched into the stone with careful precision, seem to sear themselves into the mind, a potent reminder of the dangers that lie ahead, the treacherous paths that wind through the desert of the soul. In the stillness of the night, as the stars twinkle like diamonds in the dark sky above, The whispers of the ancients seem to grow louder, their warnings more urgent, a reminder that even in death, there is no escape from the consequences of our actions. The tombs, those grand monuments to the power and glory of the Pharaohs, stand as testaments to the enduring legacy of a civilization that lived and died by the rhythms of the Nile, their secrets and mysteries waiting to be unlocked by those brave enough to venture into the shadows. And so we'll follow the winding path through the darkness and the light into the very heart of the Egyptian underworld, where the whispers of the dead await, their warnings echoing through eternity. As you settle into the darkness, the silence begins to feel like a soft blanket wrapping around you, and I find myself drawn to the ancient Egyptian tombs, where the walls whispered secrets to those who dared to listen. The air is thick with the weight of centuries, and the whispers of the dead seem to seep into your bones, a gentle chill that spreads slowly. I always come back to this one, the fascination with the warnings carved into the stone, a desperate attempt to ward off the living, to keep them from disturbing the rest of the departed. These warnings, often referred to as curses, were a common feature in many of the tombs, a testament to the Egyptians' deep-seated fear of desecration, of the disturbance of the delicate balance between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The most famous of these curses, of course, is the one found in the tomb of Tutankhamun, where the words, "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king," seem to echo through the chambers, a haunting reminder of the price to be paid for meddling with the dead. You would have heard stories of the terrible fate that befell those who ignored these warnings, of the explorers and archaeologists who suffered mysterious illnesses or met with tragic accidents, their lives cut short in the most unexpected ways. The tomb of Pharaoh Unas, for example, contains a particularly ominous warning, where the words, "I will seize him with my hand, and no one shall save him," seem to leap out from the stone, a grim reminder of the consequences of trespassing on sacred ground. As I wander through the dark, narrow corridors of these ancient tombs, the shadows seem to grow longer, the silence deeper, and the weight of history begins to press down upon me, a physical presence that's hard to shake. The Egyptians believed that the dead required certain necessities to ensure their safe passage into the afterlife, and that anyone who disturbed these provisions would be subject to the wrath of the gods. The thought sends a shiver down my spine, a slow, creeping sense of unease that seeps into my bones, and I'm left to ponder the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our perception, waiting to snatch the unwary into its cold, unforgiving grasp. As you lie there, surrounded by the quiet of the night, the soft darkness wrapping around you like a shroud, your mind begins to wander to the ancient lands of Egypt, where the whispers of the past linger in the dust that coats the stone walls of long-abandoned tombs. The air is thick with the weight of centuries, and the silence is oppressive, punctuated only by the faint scratching of unknown creatures in the darkness. You would have heard the soft rustle of papyrus, the creaking of wooden sarcophagi, and the faint scent of myrrh wafting through the corridors, carrying the whispers of the dead on its gentle breeze. In these tombs, the walls are adorned with intricate hieroglyphs, telling the stories of the lives and deaths of pharaohs and nobles, their journeys into the afterlife, and the warnings to those who would dare to disturb their rest. I always come back to this one, the tomb of Pharaohs, where the walls are covered in spells and incantations, warning of the horrors that await those who would desecrate the tomb, their souls doomed to wander the desert, lost and alone, forever trapped in a cycle of death and rebirth. The Egyptians believed that the tombs were not just resting places for the dead, but gateways to the afterlife, and that the warnings carved into the walls were not just threats, but promises of protection, safeguarding the deceased from the darkness that lurked beyond the veil of the living. The tombs were a transition, a threshold between the world of the living and the world of the dead, and the warnings were a reminder to respect the boundary, to not trespass on the sacred ground of the ancestors, lest you suffer the same fate as the tomb's occupants. As you drift deeper into the darkness, the whispers of the ancients grow fainter, but the warnings remain, echoing through the chambers of your mind, a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond the reach of the living and the consequences of disturbing the rest of the dead. Their whispers, a gentle warning to respect the secrets of the past and to let the dead rest in peace. The darkness closes in, a soft, enveloping shroud, and the whispers fade into the silence, leaving only the faint scent of myrrh and the quiet, eternal vigil of the tombs. As you sink deeper into the stillness of the night, the shadows cast by the darkness begin to take on a life of their own, and your mind starts to wander to places long forgotten, where the whispers of the past linger in the air, like the faint scent of incense wafting through the corridors of ancient temples. The Egyptians, with their profound understanding of the mysteries that lay beyond the veil of the living, left behind a legacy of warnings carved into the stone walls of their tombs, a testament to their deep-seated fear of the unknown and the consequences of disturbing the rest of the dead. These warnings, often hidden from view, were meant to deter would-be intruders from trespassing on the sacred grounds of the afterlife, where the Ka, the spiritual essence of the deceased, was said to reside, awaiting the day of reckoning. The Valley of the Kings, with its elaborate necropoles, stands as a poignant reminder of the transience of life and the enduring power of death, where pharaohs and nobles alike were laid to rest, surrounded by the treasures and trappings of their earthly existence, in the hope of ensuring a smooth transition into the afterlife. I always come back to this one, the tomb of Tutankhamun, with its vivid paintings and intricate hieroglyphs, a window into a world both familiar and yet utterly alien, where the boundaries between reality and myth blur, like the fading light of a setting sun. The warnings, often inscribed in a language that only the initiated could understand, spoke of the terrible fate that awaited those who would dare to desecrate the tombs, a fate that was said to be worse than death itself, a slow and agonizing descent into the abyss of oblivion. You would have heard the stories of curses, of treasures hidden behind secret doors, and of the untold riches that lay hidden, waiting to be discovered. But the truth, as always, is far more nuanced, a complex tapestry of myth and reality, woven from the threads of a long-forgotten culture, where the living and the dead coexisted in a delicate balance of power and fear. The Egyptians believed that the afterlife was a place of darkness and danger, where the unwary traveler could easily become lost, and the warnings, carved into the stone, were meant to serve as a guide, a map to navigate the treacherous landscape of the underworld, where the gods and goddesses of old held sway, and the very fabric of reality was woven and unwoven, like the threads of a tapestry. As you settle into the darkness, the shadows cast by the faint moonlight outside begin to take on a life of their own, and your mind starts to wander to the ancient lands of Egypt, where the pharaohs once ruled with absolute power. The Egyptians, with their intricate hieroglyphs and elaborate burial rituals, left behind a legacy of mysterious warnings carved into the very walls of their tombs, a testament to their deep-seated fear of the unknown. I always come back to this one, the way the Egyptians seemed to believe that the afterlife was a journey fraught with peril, and that the living could influence the fate of the dead. The tombs, with their narrow corridors and dimly lit chambers, were designed to mimic the journey of the sun god, Ra, as he traveled through the underworld, and the warnings, often in the form of spells and incantations, were meant to protect the deceased from the dangers that lurked in the shadows. You would have heard the whispers of the wind through the desert sands, carrying the echoes of a long-forgotten language, as the priests and scribes carefully crafted these warnings, hoping to ensure the safe passage of the deceased into the afterlife. The Book of the Dead, with its elaborate illustrations and cryptic texts, was a guidebook for the journey, providing the necessary knowledge and spells to overcome the obstacles that lay ahead. The warnings carved into the tombs were a supplement to this guide, a sort of insurance policy against the unexpected, and they reveal a deep understanding of the human psyche, a recognition that even in death, there is no escape from the fears and anxieties that plague us in life. As the darkness deepens and the world outside recedes from your consciousness, you begin to feel the weight of these ancient fears, the cumulative dread of centuries of human experience, distilled into the simple yet powerful warnings that adorn the walls of the Egyptian tombs. In the stillness of the night, the silence is almost palpable, and the warnings seem to take on a new significance, a reminder that even in the most mundane and ordinary of lives, there is a deeper, more profound reality, one that is filled with mysteries and terrors beyond our comprehension. And so, as you drift further into the shadows, the warnings of the Egyptians become a sort of lullaby, a soothing melody that accompanies you on your own journey into the unknown, a reminder that you are not alone in your fears, and that the darkness that lies ahead is not without its own strange and melancholy beauty. The darkness closes in, a soft, enveloping shroud, and the warnings, like a gentle breeze, whisper their secrets in your ear. As you drift deeper into the stillness of the night, the shadows of ancient Egypt begin to unfold, whispers of a long-forgotten civilization carried on the soft breeze. In the tombs of the pharaohs, where the air is thick with the scent of aged stone and dust, the walls bear the weight of warnings carved into the very fabric of the monuments. These cautionary tales, meant to deter would-be intruders, speak of a people deeply concerned with the afterlife and the perils that lurked in the darkness. I always come back to this one, the tomb of Tutankhamun, where the words of the priests still echo, a haunting reminder of the consequences of disturbing the rest of the dead. The Valley of the Kings, a necropolis of grandeur, where the pharaohs of old lay entombed, surrounded by the opulence of a bygone era. The tombs, meticulously crafted to ensure the pharaoh's safe passage into the afterlife, were also designed to ward off those who would seek to desecrate the resting places of the gods. You would have heard the whispers of the Egyptians as they spoke of the curse that befell those who dared to disturb the tombs, a curse that would bring ruin and destruction upon their families and their houses. The warnings, carved into the stone, were meant to be a deterrent, a warning to those who would seek to plunder the treasures of the dead. In the darkness of the tomb, the shadows seem to come alive, as the whispers of the ancients grow louder, a somber reminder of the reverence with which the Egyptians regarded their dead. The walls, adorned with intricate hieroglyphs, tell the story of a people who lived in awe of the afterlife and the mysteries that lay beyond the veil of the living. As the night wears on, the silence deepens and the shadows grow longer. The warnings carved into the tombs seem to take on a life of their own, a haunting reminder of the secrets that lie hidden in the darkness. The darkness itself seems to be a living, breathing entity, a presence that wraps around you, drawing you deeper into the heart of the tomb. As you settle into the darkness, the air grows thick with the weight of centuries, and the whispers of the ancients begin to seep into your consciousness, their warnings echoing through the chambers of the mind like a gentle breeze that stirs the dust of forgotten memories. In the depths of Egypt's tombs, where the shadows are forever bound to the stone, the walls bear the scars of a long-forgotten language, a testament to the fears and superstitions of a people who lived and died by the rhythms of the Nile. The hieroglyphs, intricate and beautiful, tell the story of a world where the living and the dead coexisted in an uneasy balance, where the veil between the worlds was thin and permeable. I always come back to this one, the tomb of Unas, where the walls are adorned with the spells and incantations of the pyramid texts, a labyrinthine journey through the underworld that guided the pharaoh on his perilous path to the afterlife. The warnings are stark and unyielding, a reminder that even in death, there is no escape from the forces that shaped the world of the living. You would have heard the whispers of the gods, their voices carried on the wind, as the priests and scribes carefully inscribed the words of warning, a plea to the darkness to spare the soul of the deceased. As the darkness closes in, the shadows deepening, the whispers grow fainter, until all that remains is the soft rustle of the papyrus, the scratch of the reed pen on stone, and the echoes of a long-forgotten civilization. The warnings, once meant to ward off the darkness, now seem to beckon it in, a reminder that even in the stillness of the night, the past is always present, waiting to be uncovered. And so, we're left to ponder the mysteries of the tombs, the secrets that lie hidden beneath the sands, and the whispers that echo through the chambers of the heart, where the shadows are forever bound, and the darkness is always waiting. Slowly, the silence deepens, a soft, velvety darkness that envelops all, and the world, with all its fears and wonders, fades into the shadows, leaving only the gentle lapping of the darkness against the shores of the mind.